Death is terrifying, everyone knows that. But if you asked an ancient human what they feared most, the answer might surprise you. Because for most of human history, there was something that could feel even worse than death. Not a predator, not a disease, not starvation, something else. Something so terrifying that people spend their entire lives trying to avoid it. And if it happened to you, everything could change overnight. But before we reveal what it was, you need to understand how ancient humans actually survived. Because the truth is, they weren't supposed to survive, at least not on paper. Think about it. Humans don't have claws, we don't have fangs, we can't run particularly fast, we cannot fly, we don't have armor. Compared to most animals, humans seem surprisingly weak. Yet somehow, humans conquered the planet. So, how did they do it? The answer wasn't strength, it wasn't intelligence either. Not at first. It was something much simpler each other. Ancient humans survived because they stayed together. A single human was vulnerable, a tribe was powerful, one person could miss danger, a group could spot it, one person could starve, a group could share food, one person could get injured, a group could keep them alive. This wasn't just helpful, it was essential. And that's where the fear begins. Imagine waking up one morning inside an ancient tribe. The fire is still burning. Children are laughing. Hunters are preparing for the day. Everything feels normal. Until you notice something strange. Nobody talks to you. Nobody looks at you. Nobody acknowledges you. At first, you think it's a mistake. Then you realize it isn't. Something has changed. And suddenly, a terrifying thought enters your mind. What if the tribe no longer wants me here? Today that sounds uncomfortable. 40,000 years ago, it was a nightmare because ancient humans understood something most modern people never have to think about. Alone, survival becomes much harder. Every task becomes more dangerous. Every mistake becomes more costly. Every day becomes more uncertain. And uncertainty is terrifying, especially when your life depends on the outcome. Imagine hunting alone. Imagine finding food alone. Imagine defending yourself alone. Imagine getting sick alone. Imagine getting injured alone. Suddenly, things that once felt manageable become terrifying. And ancient humans knew this better than anyone because they saw it happen. People disappeared, people got lost, people became separated, and sometimes they never came back. That's why belonging wasn't just important, belonging was survival. The tribe wasn't simply a social group, the tribe was protection, the tribe was food, the tribe was knowledge, the tribe was life itself. Lose the tribe, and you risk losing everything else. But here's the strange part, that ancient fear never completely disappeared. In fact, a piece of it still exists inside you right now. Think about the last time you felt rejected. Maybe someone ignored your message. Maybe you felt excluded. Maybe you weren't invited somewhere. Maybe people acted like you didn't matter. It probably felt bad, maybe worse than it should have. Why? Because your brain is carrying a survival system that is tens of thousands of years old. A system built for a completely different world. A world where being rejected wasn't just embarrassing, it was dangerous. Researchers have discovered something fascinating. The human brain often reacts to social rejection in surprisingly similar ways to physical pain. Think about that. Your brain treats rejection like a threat. Not because it's broken, because for most of human history, it was. Ancient humans who stayed connected to the tribe were more likely to survive. Those who didn't often faced a much harder future. Generation after generation, this survival instinct became deeply embedded inside us. Which leads to an uncomfortable question. If belonging was so important, what happened when someone lost it? What happened when a person broke the tribe's trust? What happened when the people around them decided they no longer belonged? The answer was terrifying because sometimes the punishment wasn't death, sometimes it was something much worse. You were left completely alone, and for an ancient human, that could be the beginning of a nightmare far worse than dying. And for an ancient human, that could be the beginning of a nightmare far worse than dying. Because death was simple, death was over. Being alone was not. The moment a person lost their tribe, a countdown began. Not a countdown they could see, a countdown they could feel. Every sunrise meant less food, every sunset meant more danger, every day made survival harder. And the terrifying part, ancient humans knew exactly what was coming. Imagine standing outside the camp as night approaches. You can still see the tribe, you can still hear them talking, you can see the fire, you can smell food cooking. Everything that once belonged to you is still there. But now there's an invisible wall between you and them. You are no longer one of them, and that's when the real fear begins. Because the first night alone was often the most dangerous. No one watching while you sleep, no one warning you about danger, no one hearing your screams if something went wrong, just darkness.